Yo everybody, Shock16 back once again for the Renegade Master, back once again for a PlayStation pickups video. That's right, not done a PlayStation pickups video for quite a while now, so yeah, let me just get my pile of PlayStation games. So yeah, a number of PlayStation titles that I've picked up lately, yeah, just to let you know that I am still doing the PlayStation pickups, so yeah, it's still very much a focus amongst the collection, because a lot of my collections, I've got to say, are getting there now. They're coming to the end. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's only so many games I want. I mean, I say there's only so many games I want. It's still more than probably anybody's ever going to play in their lifetime, but whatever. They're there, aren't they, if you ever want to play them and stuff like that, which I do. Do you know what I mean? I don't buy games not to play them. They're all bought with the intention of playing one day. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, but yeah, like I said, there is an end to my collections. I'm not just gonna keep picking up forever and ever. There's only so many games that I do want, and like for certain systems, so you might be able to see like the Dreamcast down there. As soon as that shelf's full, I'll get to the end of that shelf. That's it. That's that done, and it's only about a quarter of a way to go. Over there, off screen, you might be. No, you can't see them, can you? But that's my Mega Drive, and it's probably about room for about 6 more Mega Drive games. So yeah, I'll just fill that shelf up with a few more nostalgic games, and then that's another collection done, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I don't collect these anymore. As you can see, this is my AES, Neo Geo stuff. So yeah, PlayStation is about the only stuff that I collect now, and to be honest with you, as soon as that's full as well, that cabinet that I bought just for this PlayStation collection, as soon as that's full, that's it. And I think I'm about halfway through that now. I think that's half full now as well. So these aren't going to go on forever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, I'm still collecting for the PlayStation. So without any further ado, let's see what I've got. So yeah, first up we have a game called Verse. I think that's how you say it. Verse. Oh, bloody glare again. Sorry. It's either light with glare or darkness, no glare, but then you can't see the games because it's too dark, isn't it? So yeah, a game called Verse, or VS, Verse, it's Verse, isn't it? Because it's a 3D fighting game. So yeah, yeah, it's a 3D fighting game in the same kind of vein as Tekken and stuff like that. But yeah, the premises of the game is like it's about gangs. Rival gangs, so you get 4 rival gangs on it, and you can basically, every character you pick, I think there's like 16 characters or something like that, and each of those characters belong to one of the 4 gangs, and it's all about rival turfs and fighting on it and stuff like that. But yeah, I remember there's a character in this as well, it was like a pimp character called, what's his name, is it like Slim Daddy or something like that? Yeah, but yeah, that's really all I can tell you about this game, really. It's just one of those games that I had on backup back in the day. I can remember enjoying it. I don't know how well it will hold up against other games of this caliber nowadays. But yeah, it wasn't that much, so I thought, you know what, I'll just grab it and see if it holds up or not, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's Verse, like I say. Can you see that without the glare? So yeah, nice bit of artwork on that, actually. Next up, now this is just an upgrade really, and that is Soul Blade. So yeah, again another 3D fighter, probably one of the best 3D fighters on the system if you ask me. One of my favourite 3D fighters of all time. It's probably my second best 3D fighter, because the first would be Tekken. But yeah, so yeah, Soul Blade is basically our version of Soul Edge, is it? I think it was called Soul Edge in Japan. Again, that frigging glare. There you go, Soul Blade, again, lovely artwork. But yeah, Soul Blade is what kicked off the whole Soul Calibur series and stuff like that, because it eventually changed name to Soul Calibur. I don't know what the reasoning was behind that. But yeah, Soul Calibur is one of my favourite games. Well, it's the game that I actually bought a Dreamcast for, is what sold the Dreamcast to me. So yeah, and I've got a few of the other games on PlayStation 2 now as well. And honestly, a fantastic series, and this is what kicked it all off. So yeah, I've played this before on the Friday Night Fight. Can't remember what series it was now, but yeah, fantastic game. And like I say, this is just an upgrade really. I already had this game, but it was like manual only, and I think it was a platinum as well. So yeah, I've got a nice complete Black Label version now. There you go. On to some driving games. I don't know why I'm saying it. I keep going into that kind of radio presenter voice. I don't know what it's all about. Oh yeah, I've cracked the case on this as well. Fucking hell. I must have literally just done that because that wasn't cracked when I bought it. So I've just done that, but good job that these games are easy to get replacement cases for, aren't they? Fucking hell, how the Jesus, heavy-handed. So yeah, the next game is Need for Speed 2. So yeah, it's Need for Speed. A lot of people pick up and always talk about Need for Speed, the original. I mean, I've got that as well. I've also got the Sega Saturn version as well. It's up there somewhere. Up there. At the top. But yeah, Need for Speed's a really good game. Like I say, a lot of people big it up and play it, but nobody seems to talk about the sequel. Why is that? This is basically just more of the same, but with like newer, more exotic cars. Well, I say more exotic, but with like newer exotic cars, because obviously this game came out after, so it'd have like the newest of the time. Why is it every time I set up the camera, does somebody on a frigging moped go past? Like bloody sewing machines. Sewing machines with wheels, mopeds are. Somebody's trying to drag race a tractor or some shit. Or drag race a lawnmower, a ride on lawnmower. That's what I was thinking of, not a tractor. But yeah, Need for Speed 2, it's just like the first one really, and I always enjoyed it. One of those again that I had on backup, and yeah, nobody seems to talk about it. Why is it? Why is that? Tell me, did you have Need for Speed 2? Do you like it? Is there some reason why I shouldn't be talking about it? Is there some like reason that, I don't know, maybe it's not as loved as much as the first one or something? Maybe not a lot of people had it. Whatever. Another driving game. Ridge Racer Type 4. Yeah, not much to say about Ridge Racer, is there? But fantastic games, the Ridge Racer. So I think I have all the Ridge Racer games now that you can get on PlayStation. So I have Ridge Racer, Ridge Racer Revolution, Rage Racer, which I always class as part of the Ridge Racer series, because it isn't it. Yeah, and Ridge Racer Type 4. What's the other one on PlayStation? Let me know. Yeah, actually, do let me know in the comments below if there was another Ridge Racer as well on PlayStation, because if there is, I'll have to get it, because like I say, Ridge Racer games are fantastic racing games. So yeah, Type 4, is it the first one that they introduced Grand Prix cars in and stuff like that? I think you get like a Grand Prix mode on this one, don't you? So yeah, again, another one that I had on backup, and I just had to have it back. So yeah, Ridge Racers games are always great. Type 4 is no difference. Some people actually will argue that this is probably the best one. I will have to play it again. I am going to play it again. And I'll let you know if I think it's better than the... It's got 96%, man. 96%. Can't argue with that, can you? So now the next game is something a little bit different. But yeah, another game that I had on backup. I don't know why I keep saying this, backup. Pretty much all of these games I had on backup, which is why I'm buying them back now on proper copy. But yeah, this is a game that I played back in the day, obviously on backup, and yeah, I didn't know that it was called, like I totally forgot what the name of it was, so even though I've seen this game multiple times over the years, I've never picked it up because I never realised that this was the same game, if you know what I mean. But when I show you this game, those of you that collect PlayStation 1 games or just... Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. So yeah, any of those of you that collect PlayStation 1 games will probably know what I'm gonna like say about this game when I hold it up, and that is Mobile Light Force. So yeah, you may be tricked from that cover art there into thinking that this is some kind of really low budget Charlie's Angel third person kind of action game, but you would be totally wrong. So yeah, what this game is it's a game called Gunbird. Now I do have the sequel here on Dreamcast, so that's Gunbird 2. So just look at that artwork. If it'll focus. Focus, god damn it. So yeah, Gunbird. And now look at that. Would you say that those games are related? Would you arse? But yeah, if you know what Gunbird is, it's basically a kind of top-down, vertical, like scrolling shooter. Really good games Gunbird games are, yeah. And this is basically Gunbird. This is just what they renamed it and gave it that frigging cover for some reason. So yeah, I have seen this game so many times, you know, like over the years, like back in the days, like when I used to go to Blockbuster videos and stuff like that, and they used to do bargain bins of like PlayStation 1 games and stuff like that. Basically games that you could pick up for 50p and stuff like that in the bargain bin. This always used to be in there, and of course I've just left it in there because I never knew that this was Gunbird. I never knew that it was that game I used to play. Like I say, I totally forgot the name of it from playing it back in the day, that it was Mobile Light Force in this, so I just looked at that cover and instantly thought, well, that's a shit game. Do you know what I mean? No wonder that's in the bargain bin. But yeah, obviously it was through doing YouTube and stuff like that and seeing other people pick this up that they like let me in on the info that this is the game, and it was like, fucking hell, all the times that I've passed it up. But yeah, I've now finally bought that back. So yeah, if you do see that game out and about and you think, do you know what I mean, if you see it for cheap but you think it is just a cheap shit game, it's not. It's a good game. But yeah, yeah, I don't know why they did that. Do you know what I mean? Totally, do you know what I mean? It's not even related to anything. You put on the game and it's not related to anything that cover shows you. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, so moving on. Medieval. So yeah, this is a game that I'm not going to blow smoke up your arse and say, oh, this is a game that I absolutely loved, I played loads of, because it's not. It's a game that, again, I did have on the copy, and I did play it quite a bit, but not a lot to like say it, oh, it's one of my favourite games on the system and stuff like that, but it is a game that I had quite a bit of fun of. Basically what it is, it's kind of an action hack and slash kind of game. You play as, what's the lead protagonist? Is his name Daniel or something like that? Something about a battle, and he gets killed in battle and he gets resurrected as a skeleton and stuff like that, and that's who you play as. I think his name's called Dan or Daniel or something like that. Same name really, isn't it? But yeah, and you go around hacking and slashes through his evil army trying to defeat the evil guy. And you get like a sword, and I think you can get a club, and I think you can even rip your own arm off and stuff like that and use that as a melee weapon as well. So yeah, but Medieval is a good game, but it's one of those, like I say, it's one of those that kind of I would have played, but then I would have got distracted by another game and gone on to that and totally forgot about this. And I think it was actually Ninja Bear Hug, actually. Stu, yeah, Stu, where are you anyway? Do you still do YouTube? What are you doing with yourself these days? Is YouTube still a thing? Are you still going to keep coming back now and again? Do you know what I mean? We're like crack addicts. You entice us with a first little bit, you get us hooked on a new series that you're going to do. You do one video and then you fuck off and never be seen again. For about another year when you probably start another series, and that'll never go nowhere. Anyway, get back to YouTube, mate. We miss you. But yeah, I think it was Stu, Ninja Bear Hug, that reminded me of this game. He said it was like one of his favourite games on it, and it was like, oh yeah, shit, I remember that. So I went looking for it, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? It's all about influence, isn't it, YouTube? Impulse buying and stuff like that. So yeah, I saw it, and there was a guy not only selling this, but he was also selling the sequel too. So yeah, Can't really tell you much about the sequel, never played it, but it just made sense to buy them off this guy who was selling them both. Do you know what I mean? For the price that I could have got this for, he was selling them both. So it was just like, well, yeah, I'll play this one, and if it's as good as I remember it is, then it's going to be great to have the sequel as well, isn't it? Why not? So I picked them both up. So yeah, Medieval and Medieval 2. Moving on to Theme Hospital. Is it better if I hold it back? It's better if I hold it back away from the camera, innit? No glare and stuff like that. I have to kind of like tilt it down. There you go. Theme Hospital. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these kind of simulation bullfrog games. Not just bullfrog ones as well, because I do have behind me the Railway Tycoon. Is that bullfrog? Let me just look. No, it's not. But yeah, I love kind of simulation games like that. So yeah, Railway Tycoon. Oh, I can't say that. Railway Tycoon. Fucking hell, I haven't been drinking alright. You wouldn't believe it, would you? But yeah, Railway Tycoon. SimCity 2000. I used to play on the PC and stuff like that a lot. Yeah, of course. Theme Park. One of the best kind of simulation games out there. And yeah, so this is by Bullfrog, people that made Theme Park, and what was the other one? Was it Theme Park World and stuff like that? The one where they made it like 3D. Yeah, but it's set in a hospital. Kind of tongue-in-cheek stuff. So like the diseases and stuff that you can get on this. Like I think like one of the illnesses you can get is something called like bloated head, and like your head like swells up. And there's one that can turn you into an alien. Is it one that turns you into Elvis or something like that as well? Something like that. It's been a long time since I played this now, but yeah, I can remember it just being a really fun game, just like the theme park games, and it's got that same kind of humour and stuff like that. But it's, again, it's not one of those that I spent as much time on, like Theme Park. That is one that was a time waster. That used to just burn time back in the day. But yeah, this was one that I did play, but probably not as much. No, well, nowhere near as much as Theme Park, but it's a good game, and it was one that I had to buy back, and I think they just re-released this on a new console. I'm sure they have just re-released this or something. Did they remake it or something like that? Can't remember if it's been remade or just been re-released or something like that, but I'm sure I've seen somebody not long ago make a post about it's been remade or something. I don't know. Let me know. Comments below. So yeah, last but not least, it's another 3D fighting game, but with a difference, and that is Bushido Blade. Now this game, like I say, 3D fighting game, but this game was ahead of its time. Honestly, it's really ahead of its time. So like a normal fighting game, one-on-one fighting game is, you know, you just smash it out until one of your health bars go down and you win. That's the premise of a fighting game. But on this, you don't actually have health bars. Do you? No, I'm sure you don't. From memory, you don't have health bars. And it's more like a tactical fighter because you fight with weapons, but you can have a one-hit death. So you can defeat a person with just one hit, with a nicely placed hit. But you can also disable them as well. So you, like, if you hit their limbs and stuff like that, you can slow them down. If you hit them in the legs and stuff like that, you can actually cripple them so that they have to crawl and stuff like that. And what else is I like about this game is you're not always fighting on like one fixed kind of like screen, like arena, whereas other fighters you normally have to stick to like one arena, whereas this one you can kind of explore and go to like different parts of the arena. So you go from one screen to another screen, and yeah, so you can kind of run around and you can climb up onto another stage and stuff like that. But yeah, it's, so like I say, it's really ahead of its time. It is like gameplay wise for a fighter, it is kind of sluggish. It's very slow paced, but like I say, it's more of a technical fighting game than just a button bashing kind of game. So yeah, if I get around to it, if I ever make another series of Friday Night Fight, I'll have to feature it in there so you can kind of see what I mean. But yeah, if you've ever played this game, you'll know that this game was kind of ahead of its time. Yeah, and that's it, guys. That's another PlayStation pickups video done. Like I say, I am still collecting for the PlayStation. It is kind of my main focus. God, I cannot speak in this video. It is kind of still my main focus for the collecting at the minute. So expect more PlayStation pickups in the future. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up by saying toodaloo. Toodaloo.